Hey everybody, welcome to another live stream. My name is Brett and this is On Hand Art. Today we are going to we're going to rebuild a yard sculpture that I had made 3 years ago now. And it was facing into the wind, and so it had these little discs on it of bismuth, and they blew off over the years. So we are going to, as you can see here, also, welcome to my my backyard, where it can sometimes be loud. Um, the Anyway, we're going to start by taking the discs off, the rest of the discs off of this, cleaning them up, and then we're going to melt them down. I'll show you that whole process. In the meantime, I'm going to start melting down some of the other discs that I already have that blew off, which are these. So let me clip on my mic and let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start. I'm just gonna have a little camping stove here. Doesn't take a lot of heat. It's about 500 degrees. It gets a little windy, so I made a makeshift. It gets a little windy, so I made a makeshift windscreen. Uh, well, anyway, let's get started. We'll just turn on the gas here. There we go. And this stuff crumbles really nicely. Oh, actually, this is what I was talking about, cleaning it up. There's construction adhesive on the back, which I thought would work on a more permanent basis, but I guess not. So here we go. That might never come off because that section was very thin. And then I'm just using this chisel here and a little pressure, trying to not cut myself. And this stuff is nice and brittle, so it just breaks apart. Try not to drop it into the flame. And oops. All right. Well, I have the chat open, so as everybody joins, feel free to say hello. The one thing I noticed about bismuth is that when it was new, it was really bright. Just being outside, getting weathered, it kind of turned gray with very subtle colors. So I'm not sure exactly how to stop that. That's something I'll investigate later, but maybe coat it with something. But the colors get very subtle. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, here's some ASMR for you. You're very welcome. All right. And then what I normally do is because I want to get as much heat as I can. I just close that lid a little bit, and my little makeshift windscreen should keep the flame nice and hot. All right, so in the meantime, I'll share this with you later. Those will be the molds for it. And bismuth is relatively safe. It's actually used in medicines like Pepto-Bismol. That's where Bismol comes from. So, um, So you don't have to worry about that. It is really heavy. It's about as heavy as lead. And I will share a link in the video when I post it to where I bought this stuff. Hopefully the prices haven't gone up too much. It's already relatively expensive in large amounts like we have here. Hi, I see somebody joined the chat or joined the live stream. So, hey, how's it going? Feel free to leave a comment, say hello. It's good to have you here. Oh, that came off nice. All right. So, my lesson is learned about using construction adhesive. It seemed to hold fine for a while. I switched. Here, let me show you this. I ended up switching to caulk, which it doesn't really work, but we'll figure something out. I have, like I said, I have another sculpture in my garden that I had made, same with bismuth, and it held up really. It's still standing strong. It's because it's kind of sideways to the wind, and it also I have the bismuth panels captured mechanically, so they're kind of sitting on a panel, and then they have tubes on either side, and it's sitting kind of in this little channel. I'll show you. I'll actually link to that video um, when I repost this video. And anybody worried that I'm doubling my chisels? Yes, I probably am. But that's what I have a dad for. He'll be home over in a while, and I can probably go to his house and sharpen the chisels with his fun grinder thing that he's got. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, more people are joining the. We're just getting started. I'm actually just deconstructing the last of the sculpture that kind of has been blowing apart over the years. And melting some of the other of these discs of bismuth, and then we'll get started. I'm not sure exactly how far we'll get today on rebuilding the entire sculpture, so just kind of play it by ear. Throw this stuff in my bin. One thing about bismuth is, and I was telling people earlier, is that it is about as heavy or dense as lead, but it's used in medicine. So I'm get rid of that. Can you still hear me with the AC going? I probably should turn that off, but that's okay. Anyway, um, it melts. If you're going to melt it, treat it like hot oil. So it's kind of something heat resistant, and don't work directly on your surface here. And actually, that's a good. segue into showing you the molds I'm making. I have this plastic tray from some Costco food of some sort. And so what I'm doing is using it to the idea is these will be these will hang off of some wires, and then I'll reattach them to the same frame so that when the wind blows, they'll kind of flutter in the wind. So, before we keep going, let me show you kind of the principle, the idea behind this. I lost the rest of my foil. Oh well. Nope, that's still melting. 1 second, I'll be back. All right. Actually, you know what? While that's still melting, let's make some uh, more mold. Now, it is true you can't really mix bismuth with anything else, especially aluminum. It just turns into this brittle mess that you really can't do anything with after you mixed. And when they're just experimenting, but putting it on the aluminum, where it's touched the aluminum, will be gray, but the front will still be colorful. Um, so it depends on what you want. There's other ways to mold bismuth. If you're going to try something like plaster, which I've seen other people do, make sure that that is extremely dry because it will sputter and splatter out on you. And like I said, treat it like hot oil. It's, it will burn you and it will stick to you. Uh-oh. I'll be right back. My camera does not like going more than 30 minutes at a time. All right. How's everybody doing? Leave a comment. Feel free to leave a comment. Say hi. All right. Let me. So it's already melting on the bottom. I'll wait till it's fully melted. All right. In the meantime, I have this copper wire. It's actually it's called magnet wire. So we're gonna. The idea would be that I'll melt the business. Put one of these wires in the business. Hopefully it will stay. And then again, when the wind blows, it should kind of flutter in the wind, kind of like leaves on a tree. That's actually where the idea came from. So this stuff is called magnet wire. It has kind of this coating, this red coating on it, which allows you to make coils for electric movements for motors and it's expensive. So when I'm done with this, I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I may or may not get more, unless he has some squirreled away in his basement someplace, which would be really nice. And then I can reappropriate that because I don't steal it. So, all right, I'm going to just start with these and see how far, like I said, how far we get today. Um, Originally, if anybody's news joined, originally I had glued these panels with construction adhesive, which just failed over the years, and kind of didn't see that coming actually. Um, and this section here is later. Let's see. It's gonna take a while. All right. Let's do a test pour and see how this goes. Because I'm impatient. So, yeah. All right. So normally you would skim the surface of the bismuth to get all of the impurities off of it. Which is why I wait to wait until they're fully melted. But the great thing about metal is you can always remelt it. So if this doesn't work, all right. And then to form crystals, all you have to do is tip the pan after it's cooled off for a while. So let that sit cool for a minute, minute and a half, and just tip it. This is also how you can spread the colors. You can see some bold color, blues, purples, light blues. I don't think I've ever seen red, but there's been kind of like a pink, like a purpley pink. So, all right. And we'll just make some more of these molds. The great thing about bismuth is it also cools relatively quickly, so you can kind of start playing around with it. At this point, though, you just don't want to touch it because it really is still very, very hot. You can't even start manipulating it and kind of flatten that wire or things like that. This is also the point at which I'm starting to wonder. Which would be nice also. very heavy. So I'm not sure if this is actually going to work. If not, pivot and we'll do something. We'll change the way the final piece looks a little bit. I had two ideas in mind. One where hopefully they were thin enough that they would flutter around in the wind. The other one is where they kind of just hang, um, and I can cluster them enough that they are kind of a bush or something like that. Let me know what you think of the outdoor sounds instead of music. The outdoor sounds include my AC, my neighbors, airplanes, dogs. And then to finish these up, they're not going to stay rectangular like this, as far as I know. Um, I kind of make up my mind as I go, so they may or may not, depending on what the final look is, stay rectangular. But if they don't stay rectangular, which is my original plan, you can cut them with a soldering iron or a wood burner because they really, hey buddy, got a little spider friend here. Anyway, um, yeah, they cut really nicely with just like a soldering iron on medium to high. And this is what I was talking about. The back that touches the aluminum is going to be this kind of gray, silvery color, while the front is nice and rainbow color. And yes, being careful to not burn my hands, even though I'm pretending like I'm not burning my hands, I am burning my hands. Anyway, we'll clean that up later. It's also still very brittle, so this will snap right off. And then you can put it right back in the pan. Let me know what you think of this, though. Um, should I keep it like a rectangle, or should I kind of cut it into a leaf shape? What do you all think? Getting there. So we're getting there. Some these are some of the impurities I was talking about. But I'll let that fully melt. We'll scrape it off. I'll use this to scrape it off, and then we can pour away. So How's everybody's weekend so far? How's that? All right. Well, thank you all for joining. Um, I was expecting this to melt sooner. In my garage, it will melt sooner. Out here, because of the wind and me constantly checking it because I'm impatient, um, it really it's taken a lot longer, which is why I made this windscreen out of aluminum foil. So this project is meant to be pretty simple, and um, actually, let me show you my plans for the rest of it. So what I had done originally, and I'll link to the original video, is that these panels are soldered on just with regular electronic solder. So they're actually really nicely stuck. My plan is to take those panels off, and then we're going to solder these onto this existing form. In the meantime, we're going to hope that it's not actually supposed to rain today because the forecast said it's not, but it's acting like it wants to. So, Mike, I'm really concerned with this, and one of the things that this experiment platforms for me is to see what happens to these wires over time in the wind if they start breaking. Um, they're pretty thin, so kind of expect they might break, but we're going to see how long it takes for them to break. The whole idea behind the two sculptures I have in my garden is to see what works and what doesn't as I learn to make more outdoor sculptures and use different materials for that. It's not really to play it safe and to use what I know will work. Um, Not that I know exactly a lot of materials that will work, but we're going to, like I said, ideas to play around and see what works. All right. Hey, Ginger Snaps, how you doing? Oh, thanks, Ginger Snaps. This is just a bunch of random tables that I threw together, so don't be too impressed. Um, but yeah, and yeah, it's going really good. How about you? How's it going with you? Okay. Um, I had a piece of aluminum flyway on me. Actually, you know what? Rather than me running and getting it, we'll just I think that's where we're going to land for now. Put that here. Let me know if the AC fan is really annoying, and I will go turn it off and make my family suffer because I care about you guys. It's all for you. Oh, you just moved? Yeah, that is a slog. I'm glad to be a pleasant distraction, Ginger Snaps. That's kind of why I do these. It's I need the distraction. I know other people need the distraction. All right, we're gonna do some more chords. It's not ready yet, of course, but again, I'm patient, and this is what you get. All right. So what I have learned so far is if I pour and then put the wire in, it's gonna hold better. And let's just pour a little bit this time and see what happens. Get a more organic shape. So speaking of moving, actually we have neighbors behind us, so you get the dulcet tones of all right. And then if anybody else missed it, so all you have to do to get the different crystals and the different colors, you just start being on these crystals things. And again, they go from gold to a pink purple to I haven't seen any other different colors than that. It pulls up really for the most part. Don't touch the bismuth itself for quite a while. But you can actually kind of hold it up, see what you think. Oh, don't worry about it, man. Or just Snap said, it's, I just love seeing people leave their comments, love interacting with all of you. And that's really kind of what I'm here for, why I'm doing this. So, yeah, take care of what you need. Try and enjoy your new home and in the day and all that. No, I totally did not just burn myself. Um, Also, don't tell my wife that you saw that. Uh, she's a safety compliance engineer, so uh, I would not hear the end of it. Okay. All right. Starting to wonder if run out of propane. We still see a. Yeah, I see a flame. I don't know why it's just not melting. All right. I think what we'll do. All right. And if anybody who missed the first pour, this is what you're going to get on the back where it touched the foil. It's just going to be that silver color. It's the front that's going to be all the rainbow colors, all the crystals, and all of that. And again, anybody who missed me saying, don't try and mix metals in with your bismuth. I don't know of any metal that will mix in with it to produce something better or different. It's actually just going to turn your bismuth into a crumbly. And if you're careful and you let it cool off enough, you can actually peel off the foil and then make another mold. And then you're back in business. So there you go. Um, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to get my torch and I'm going to torch this as well. So heat from the top and bottom, actually. So I will be right back. You, here we go. And I'm going to do this while there's 23 people on the stream. Here, enjoy the dulcet tones of my AC fan, and I'll be right back. All right. All right. You probably can't see that flame. I don't know if you can see the flame at all. This is what happens when you buy the cheap version of a thing. So that's way faster. Except this keeps going out. Oh, the other thing too is this pot I'm using only used for bismuth. Again, it's bismuth is used in medicines and stuff like Pepto-Bismol. That's where biz comes from in Bismol. But you know, it's kind of you don't really want that in your food. The medicines are using trace amounts, whatever that means, and to each individual medicine, and you just really don't want all that yellow and stuff in here that you see kind of glowing red right now. That's all the impurities. Normally, I would scrape that off the top before pouring, but since my bismuth isn't melting right now, I'm just leaving it in there, and it kind of floats on the top. All right, I think that's enough that we can start. We can do another few pours. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I say this stuff cools off really, really quickly. I think I lost you all again. There we go. And the other thing is that if you try and do a pour on top of a solid pour, it's actually not going to really work. It's going to actually make layers. I'll show you with this little one. That's how I feel, kiddo. I don't know if you heard the girls. All right. Well, I'll have to repour that one because this one decided to solidify way faster than I was expecting or hoping. So move that out of the way. This is not how I really was hoping that this melt would go because, like I was telling everybody earlier, I normally do this in my garage, fully controlled, no wind and all that. So, here we go. It normally melts much faster with a lot less trouble. And as I was telling everybody earlier too, I will leave in the comments for the video that I do post after this. I'll leave a link to the video for the original piece of art, and I'll leave a link to where I buy my bismuth. I feel like I get the best price from them, and they have really good service. All right, and then if you had missed it earlier, because I know there's a few more people on, all of that yellow kind of red glowing stuff, that's actually just the impurities. It's like sulfur or something, I think, maybe. Um, Anybody who knows what they're doing because they learned instead of kind of self-taught, leave a comment. Let me know. So all the silver, everything that's in here that's silver, that is the bismuth. The purple is the melted bismuth. Again, the yellow stuff is impurities, and we'll try and pour around that. Go. All right, and then you let this sit for a minute, and then you can start kind of tipping your tray around. So you can tip the tray around and start getting more crystals. The longer you leave it, the bigger the crystals. So if I leave kind of this bubble, there's metal in the corner here, it's going to grow more bigger crystals, and then you can tip it around. separate this so you can just kind of shape it if you want. But this is something this is what I was talking about. This just this layer came right off this Okay. I think we'll go for 15, 20 more minutes because this is just kind of uncontrolled right now. And I feel like I'm wasting a lot of fuel trying to heat this bismuth up in a windstorm, essentially, you know. So if you have an open space inside, plenty of ventilation, like a garage, that's a good place to melt to work with this. Just make sure that your garage door is open. You have plenty of air flowing through because you will probably start getting lightheaded more from the propane exhaust or the heater exhaust than you will from anything that's coming off the business. But that's my experience. And anybody who missed this already, I'm actually very much self-taught with this. So if you know of better ways, leave a comment. Let me know. Um, this is how I'm working with it with very limited supplies and tools. But so far, so good. So far four, I have six of these, and they are all going to be way heavier than I was hoping for and expecting. So what I'm going to end up doing is changing the way the final piece looks, which is totally fine. I always want the material to shape the the artwork as much as I try and shape the artwork. I've learned over the years to not be so arrogant as to believe that I can fully control the materials and bend them to my will. It's also just not my thing. I don't really care to do that. So um, that's how my artwork ends up coming out. All right. Yeah, this is not going to help. Let's go with this. So I guess on my birthday wish list, I'm putting better torch nozzle. This one keeps going out. Anybody who missed it, yeah, bismuth is very, very brittle. That's why you need to make it either thick or put it in. In the case of the original sculpture, I had these little panels of copper that they were glued to, but that glue failed. I used construction adhesive and it failed. So um, it took a couple of years, but I learned my lessons to try and use some kind of mechanical way of holding it in place, clips. In the case of another piece that I built, I still have the panel behind the bismuth, but they're held in place with these channels. And I'll link to that video as well so you can see how I built that piece. And if you you can't leave a comment because you're not subscribed or something, feel free to subscribe. And I put a short video out every week, and I've been trying to do more regular live streams once a month. So, and we actually might get to twice a month. So, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and if that's something you'd like to see. So a lot of the impurities on these pieces are probably dust and dirt and whatever else has been blown onto the metal over the years. But when you get it brand new, you're still going to have impurities. And normally what I would do is fully melt this and then scrape off the top of impurities because they float and then pour. But we're not doing that this time. We're just going to pour around all the gunk. I also have seen people melt bismuth on their stove in their house. Personally, I'm not a fan of that. That's just me being kind of over safe maybe sometimes, but still. But you're all adults, I'm assuming. So, do what you feel is best. Also, if you would like to see more videos like this or more live streams like this, leave a thumbs up, and I will take that as a sign that everybody watching liked this and wanted to see more. And for anybody who missed it earlier, this is copper wire. It's called magnet wire. And I have a spool that it's 18 gauge copper wire. And I got the spool from my dad, who was an engineer for the vast majority of his life. So he has all sorts of odds and ends and things that make great art. And this stuff was actually used to make motors for electromagnets. Yep. All right. Now, because I poured these and I didn't tip them right relatively quickly, this one actually is just flat. And it's not what I'm going for. I'm going to this. And it's not horrible. It's just not what I'm going for. Anyway, this is magnet wire. It's got this red coating on it. It's a lacquer paint, so that way they could um, coil the wire really tightly without it shorting out. And that's how you make electric motors or electric magnets. Oh, something you can all also tell me is if you like me yapping away more or if you like me to be just quiet and let you watch what I'm doing. Because it's much easier for me to just let you watch what I'm doing. I lost you all again. There we go. All right. Not sure how this one is going to hold. It's also very thin, so I'm just going to remelt this one as well. All right, I'll do a couple more and then I'm going to call it for the day. And I will finish this piece as a hybrid of this live stream and an actual video. Unless you would like me to finish it on a live stream, then I'm more than happy to do that. Just leave a comment, let me know if that's what you'd like to see. Oh, hey, there's more people. Let me open my chat. Oh, hey, Nora Warrior. Oh, yeah, I know Yaz. Thanks for stopping by. There we go. Yeah, I hear what you're saying about not being able to chat on live. It's Ginger Snaps. It's I kind of get lost in the moment, and I'm also not a very chatty person in real life. So um, I let a lot of other people do the talking. So that kind of translates into my preference. But yeah, thanks for thanks, Ginger Snaps. Yeah, I think there are a lot of more introverted people than out there than we give credit for. Okay, my frustration level is getting pretty high, so I think we're going to call it here. Um, but like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this piece on just on a video, um, and this will be a hybrid of this and that video. But I want to thank everybody for stopping by. And again, if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. It also helps out my channel, lets me know what you like to see, and it helps my channel grow, which, that's important to some of us. So, anyway, thank you all for stopping by. I just want to always remind you that your art is enough, and you are creative people. So, have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.